This week we have the Mercedes S580e, the plug-in hybrid version of the S-Class. Now there is an all-electric S-Class with the EQS, but that thing looks like an egg and the hyperscreen on the inside just does not scream luxury to me. I vastly prefer the more conventional flagship S-Class. And as the S580e, it's like the happy medium in the powertrain lineup. Now, there is another hybrid S-Class with the S63 AMG, but that thing is ridiculous, utterly ballistic, making nearly 800 horsepower, over 1,000 pound-feet of torque, and it will easily cost $200,000. So in the realm of more regular S-Classes, the S580e is like that sweet spot in terms of the powertrain. It has a 3-liter turbocharged inline 6 that's combined with the hybrid electric system, and actually as a plug-in hybrid has very usable battery capacity and all-electric range. It's a 20-something kilowatt-hour battery pack and will yield nearly 50 miles of all-electric range. And another rarity for plug-in hybrids is you have available DC fast charging for even quicker charging. And imagine you have a kind of normal commute. You could drive in pure electric mode up to nearly 50 miles, charge it overnight in your garage, and as an S-Class, you want it to be super quiet, smooth, luxurious, and hybrid powertrains, especially electric mode, really helps that. So I'm quite excited to spend this week living with this S580e, and take a look at this spec. It's gorgeous. Under the hood, we have that 3-liter turbocharged inline 6, and combined system output is 510 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque, which is pretty healthy. 0 to 60 in the low 4-second range. Now some specs on the hybrid side of the system. So we have a 28.6 kilowatt-hour battery pack. You have 9.6 kilowatt AC charging speed, but with the optional 60 kilowatt DC fast charger, it'll do 20 to 80% in about 20 minutes. Now the EPA says the all-electric range should be around 46 miles, but I have seen people say they're getting close to around the 50 mark, so we'll see what kind of all-electric range we can get this week. Let's take a moment to check out the design. This color is called Verde Silver Metallic, and it is amazing. It's this greenish blue hue with the metallic silver, and it looks utterly fantastic. We also have the sportier AMG design touches on the front fascia, the blacked out 20-inch multi-spoke AMG wheels, and you still have a hood ornament. Very few cars still come with a proper hood ornament. They actually do a pretty good job of integrating all the sensors. You see that gloss black rectangle right there to try to hide it in the grille. And as the plug-in hybrid, the S580e, there aren't a ton of obvious cues that tell you this one is the plug-in hybrid. Oh my gosh, guys, take a look at this paint. It is amazing. Around back, we do have an S580e badge, and then you have an additional port here, the door for the charging ports, but otherwise, it just looks like a new S-Class. The spec on this S-Class is fantastic. Take a look at that paint. And my wife Angel just paid off her student loans today, so surprise cupcakes for her. Carefully secure the precious cargo. Go ahead, turn on, starts in all-electric mode. Soft close doors. Time to go run some errands in the S-Class. Have a return to go make at Costco, a couple other places to go. All right, the keys in my pocket. I can kick under the bumper. Opens up the trunk, which is a little bit smaller due to the battery pack. So the plug-in hybrid loses a little bit of trunk practicality. The load floor here is definitely higher, so you lose a little bit of space, but it's still pretty deep and practical. Costco runs in the S-Class. We're making steak for dinner. Do people who buy S-Classes new go grocery shopping themselves, or do they just have somebody do it for them, or just get food delivered every day? As always, make sure you put your cart back. Look at that wild test rig. That's the thing with living here in Detroit. You see a lot of manufacturers and suppliers doing all sorts of crazy testing. We have a couple different drive modes. We have hybrid, sport, individual, and then there's a battery hold. Electric is unavailable right now because I am out of range, but I like hybrid. In sport, it turns your powertrain, suspension, steering, and stability program into sport. But the hybrid mode is the happy medium, gives you more of that floaty, wafty experience, which is what I want out of an S-Class. The most recent S-Class I spent some time living with was the S63 AMG, and that thing is crazy. It is so fast, so powerful, but it definitely has to sacrifice some of the floaty comfort for the sake of that performance. So the regular mode in an S63 is like the sport mode in this thing. It turns the aggression up a tier. But in this S580e, I really like just the wafty feeling. So far, the hybrid integration is pretty good. I did see some reviews that the braking feel can be a little bit wonky, and I have noticed a couple little hiccups of uncertainty with the brake pedal feel. Now, it is a little more challenging trying to blend between a conventional mechanical brake and the regen braking. And that's something they probably have to spend a lot of time on. But overall, I am still very, very impressed with the floaty comfort of this S580. And oh my gosh, these things are so quiet. You just don't hear anything outside. Traffic, wind noise, road noise. You're just in this cocoon, this vault of silence and tranquility. I remember one of my first times going to the auto show and hopping into an S-Class, and you close the doors and you just don't hear outside. We were like doing a test where I had a friend stand right outside and just like shout at me, and I'm like, I can barely hear you. And that's the appeal of one of these things. You're just completely isolated from the outside world. The door handles light up, and then you get the Mercedes logo puddle lamp, which is pretty cool. And of course, all the interior lights turn on, really showing off that interior. Wow. This thing has no tints on it at all, so you can really, really see how amazing that interior looks. Whoa, the taillights are pretty crazy too. I've actually properly paid attention to the S-Class taillights. This is max brightness for the interior ambient lighting. Set the green, because that is Angel's favorite color. Lots of different options available. You even get ambient lighting up here. Late night workout complete. Even under parking lot lighting, this thing looks fantastic. There's that quick welcome sequence of the lighting. Look at that paint. Honey, I love this paint. It's so cool.
It is really cool. It's a very unique gray, greeny, bluey color.
Yes, all the fun colors. Verde, silver, metallic. And especially over this color. This qualifies as green over tan. Green over tan is a fantastic color combo.
This is more of an orangey.
Saddle? It's tan adjacent. This is nifty. We're on a nav screen. You have these little shortcuts to pull up your media, for example, massage, heating settings. I'm really starting to like Mercedes-Benz UX. Initially, it was a little bit overwhelming, but it actually works really, really well. We also have everything heated. Armrests are heated, seats are heated. The armrests out here are heated too. So nice. Do you like the S-Class, honey?
I do.
Would you drive one?
I have driven this.
No, but would you like replace your Macan with one of these?
I would, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Should we do that? We should have just kept the A8 actually.
maybe in a few years.
In a few years.
Yeah.
Buying one of these certified pre-owned, because this one is $144,000 as optioned. So they're very expensive when new. But after a couple years, the heads-up display augmented reality navigation is definitely nice. After a couple years, certified pre-owned. Well, I honestly really like this plug-in hybrid, especially if we had a charger in the garage, or like the base one or regular V8. Probably get a good one between 70 to 90 grand would be my guess. There's always a decent premium over like the A8 and 7 series. S-Classes are a little bit more desirable. That's the whole point. I want to be in a cocoon of silence, just wafting along the road. Not a care in the world. I like saying that when you're in a car like this, you arrive at your destination more relaxed than you left. It removes the stress of the world. Ooh!
Whoa, cool.
Look at like the detail of the proximity too.
Remember when we used to not have backup cameras?
Yeah, like I also wonder, like if you're taking your driver's test as a new driver and you have a car like this,
true.
are you allowed to use all this technology?
That's
Like
a good question.
blind spot warning, parallel parking, like cars have parallel park assist. Like, are you allowed to do that? Because
That's
if you,
a question for the younger folks.
yeah, if you own the car, then you can use it. But then now a whole generation probably don't have the ability to parallel park.
Well, I still don't have the ability to parallel park.
Got a haircut this morning, just had the S-Class washed, and now we're heading to a DC fast charger because I want to throw some electrons in the battery pack to see how quick it charges, but also how many miles of range it's going to indicate on a full charge. A Defender Octa. Cool, finally seeing those things in the wild. Oh, I love the inflating bolsters on the S-Class. They just cup you so nicely, just supporting you when you take a turn, because you don't want to strain yourself leaning over, trying to hold yourself in your seat. That is luxury. There's an EVgo station close by to where I was. So there's a 100 kilowatt CCS charger. That one's under service. This one's busy, but I don't need 350 because this thing can't even take that. So 100 kilowatts is more than sufficient. Charging speeds are ramping up, 15, there's 20 kilowatts. Let's see what it peaks at. Oh wow, we hit 55 kilowatt charging speed. It started to slow down around 50, but it's gradually ramped up to 55. It says 22 minutes remaining to get to full. And it's cool that we have DC fast charging because a lot of plug-in hybrids like this do not have fast charging, just slower level 2 charging for at home and so forth. 22 minutes to full. I'm interested to see how much range it's going to tell me it has. We're up to 71% and it's showing 42 miles of range already. Now, if you own this car, you would probably, again, charge at home with a level 2 charger, so every day you leave with a full charge. So the reason you would go to a DC fast charger, maybe if you're on a road trip and you're trying to maximize your efficiency, you want it to be quick, or you just happen to be in the area or something. Because if your commutes, call it 20 miles, even less than that, right? You're gonna be in pure electric mode to work and home, and then charge up at home, it's way cheaper because these fast chargers are more expensive. I think this is like 60 cents a kilowatt hour. So this charge should probably be, I don't know, $15 or something like that. Electrify America, I think, is maybe even more expensive. And that is showing 58 miles of range at 100%, which is quite a lot more than the official rating. I'm impressed. That was just under 27 minutes of charging. It dispensed 24.95 kilowatt hours. Went home this afternoon, took a couple calls, did a bit of work, ate some food. Now back in the S-Class, heading back to Birmingham. To Out of Office Garage. We have a photo shoot tonight. I have a friend who wants to take some pictures of this S580E, probably because the color combination is so fantastic. Verde, silver, metallic. First time ever seeing an S-Class in this color, and man, is it really, really cool. As you can tell, I'm a pretty big fan of the spec. So 38 miles of all-electric range. I've been driving in pure EV mode, just wafting along. And I really do like the augmented reality heads-up display. So I've got navigation using the built-in system instead of CarPlay, but even with CarPlay, it integrates. And in a heads-up display, it's got my direction, it's got these arrows that pop up that tell me when it's time to make a turn. It's actually really, really nicely integrated. I've grown to really like the latest Mercedes-Benz UX, even though, I mean, we don't have physical buttons, right? This is just storage, cup holders, wireless phone charger, couple USB-C ports, and you can close it with just gloss black, which does attract dust and lots of fingerprints. And you have like this row of like touchy buttons here, but everything is through the touchscreen. The climate stuff always stays there, and everything is through the touchscreen. Once you learn it, it's pretty good. Works well. Steering wheel, you have the conventional Mercedes steering wheel. The AMG model's got the double spokes, right? But this one, same thing with the swipey, touchy controls. So it's a balance of technology, but still some classical feeling, conventional feeling, analog feeling, higher quality materials and touch points. In electric mode, like, that's plenty. It's about 150-ish horsepower and about a 350 pound-feet of torque electric motor. If you need more, the gas engine kicks on. It's a really nice, smooth 3-liter turbocharged inline six. It's not like some tiny little puny 4-cylinder struggling to move such a big, large, heavy sedan. Sometimes with plug-in hybrids, like the M5 comes to mind. When the battery depletes and you're just running on the engine, your efficiency is so bad, it still pays gas guzzler tax, which I think is hilarious, right? We've gone to a plug-in hybrid M5, it's insanely heavy, and then you still have to pay gas guzzler tax. But with this application, probably because the inline 6 is lighter than the V8, actually, even without plugging it in every night, I was doing like 30 mpg average, and I imagine if you plugged it in and charged it and pretty much relied on that, your mpg rating would be probably in the 60s to 70s, depending on how you're driving it. Very, very different personality and use case and application technology compared to the S63. Battery pack capacity, this one's in the mid to upper 20s. I put 25 kilowatt hours into this thing earlier today. The S-Class, or the S63, is like half the size, not even, right? So you're getting like, I don't know, 14 miles of all electric range. That was really just for performance. And you should turn on my massage seats. What am I doing? I'm in the S-Class without massage seats? Travesty. What do we want to try today? Let's try deep workout. Ooh. Turn the intensity up to intensive. There's no like numbers, it's just intense or not intense, I guess. Oh, the seat is vibrating. What is happening? So one of the complaints I saw online too was brake pedal feel not being the most consistent, and I have felt that. It's like when you're starting to apply brake pressure, it's almost as if the braking force is not constant with what you're expecting. And then if you go into the, what is it called? Settings. Here we go. Eco Assist. Right, so this is to like maximize your efficiency. The brake pedal moves, which I don't like, because you want to always know your pedals in the same place when you go to hit it, and I'm not a huge fan of that. Sometimes on even more aggressive, heavier, more pressure on braking situations where you're trying to slow down quickly, notice a little bit of not perfectly smooth. So that would be the one point of contention with this powertrain setup, and it probably has to do with the blending between friction brakes and the regen brakes. Okay, I don't know if I like this massage setting. It is vibrating my butt. Let's go to hot relaxing back. There we go. That'll work. And then sometimes if I'm just in hybrid mode or something and the engine's not on and I really want to get moving quickly, I'm like giving it maybe 60-70% throttle to get into a gap in traffic or something, there has been a slight hesitation where the electric motor is maxed out how much it can produce, and then like the engine has to kick on. I've noticed a little bit of a hesitation. When it's all running together and this handoff is pretty seamless, but those are the couple little cases where I noticed it's not quite as snappy as I was hoping it would be. But maybe these things can be tuned with a couple little calibration changes, but this powertrain has been out for a couple years now. I think it came out in the 2023 S-Class, but a regular wafty S-Class driving, it's great. I mean, it just kicked off the engine. We're back into electric mode, even though I'm in battery hold, and the engine just kicked on. So that integration is super smooth. You can barely hear or feel it. I really notice it when the tachometer jumps over, especially when listening to music. You barely even hear the engine, really. It's nice. It's a very, very nice powertrain. We're out doing some photos. We found ourselves a nice little scenic corner here. This paint changes so much with the lighting. Here in the shade, it's definitely much more subtle, but still really, really cool. Has more kind of teal, bluey green hues to me. Under the sun, it looked really cool as the sun was starting to set. And also, as it's starting to get dark, you can see the interior ambient lighting. We got the center folded down right here. Now, you can't get the crazy executive second row seat, but this one doesn't have it, but they're still heated and cooled, and they recline. You've got the nice pillows back here, the lighting that goes behind the seats, and then a quick look up front. The interior ambient lighting on the S-Class is fantastic. The interior overall is just so nice. I don't know if this is still true, but I remember hearing a story about the S-Class that they just give the engineers a seemingly unlimited budget and ask them to design the best possible car, which is why the S-Class through the generations has always brought these cutting-edge technologies. Also, the AMG package is so important. It just makes the front fascia much more aggressive looking. The non-AMG ones, for all the generations of S-Classes, just look a little too soft and curvy, especially that lower fascia area. So I think it's absolutely worth it and really important if you order one of these things new to get that, just from a visual standpoint. Gives it just a little bit more presence. And the styling has grown on me. I gotta admit, when the new S-Class first came out, especially those rear taillights, I was like, why does it look like a giant CLA? The previous Gen 1 had more like substantial looking taillights, and it went kind of more thin here. But over time, as they've come out with the AMG, like the Sport package, it look a little more aggressive, cool specs, the AMG versions themselves, it's really, really grown on me. And I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of the latest S-Class. Hey, what? A check engine light just popped up. That's not what I wanted to see. I promise I've been good. I've been very nice to the car. I have let it warm up. Because that is a thing with plug-in hybrid vehicles, any hybrid, right? When you leave home in electric mode, everything's cold. Let's just say you're driving at speed and all of a sudden the engine kicks on. It's the cold start. So you do kind of want to wait for stuff to warm up a little bit. I remember the S63, and I think the G63, they give you a little like cold temperature warning thing in the cluster telling you don't beat on the engine until things are warm because it wasn't started when you first got in the car. We've done nearly 300 miles this week, averaging 34.6 mpg, which is pretty impressive given the fact that I have not been that diligent about charging up other than that one fast charging session. So that's pretty good, nearly 35 mpg for a big, heavy luxury sedan. Also, that check engine light just went away. I was gonna scan it to see what the code was, and before I got to it, it just resolved itself. It went away, so it self-healed. Not a big deal, it was driving fine, so I didn't bother even scanning it. And let's take a moment to appreciate the interior ambient lighting. It is so cool. We're on the multicolor theme. I can show you all the various different settings. If I go to comfort, ambient light, multicolor, they have all these preset different themes. Here is ocean blue. Ooh, that's really nice too. Here's jungle green. We've got ultramarine. This one is called red moon. And Malibu sunset. Really cool. Or you can go just to a single color and then pick whatever on the color wheel you have it set to. Wow. Even in the back seat too. The ambient lighting in the new Gen S-Class is fantastic. And this is too much, right? You can turn the brightness down. That's a pretty low setting there. And all the way off if you really don't want any of it. But I like it. I am a big fan of the multicolor. And let's go back to... Oh, this is Miami Rose. No, that's also cool. I like Malibu Sunset. There's also this energizing comfort with a bunch of different options. Here's a Vitality. Whoa. That's a lot of bass. You can feel that. Wow. That's a 10-minute long video. Or experience. Joy. Ah, I feel more joyous already. This is luxury. Lincoln has something similar too. They're like relaxation, spa experience kind of thing. Massage seats, the scents, the sounds. Oh, I feel like I'm at the beach. Some of my friends at Bora Bora right now, I am not there, but instead I have sea sounds from the S-Class. What is training? Wait, exercises for relaxing muscles and activating or improving attentiveness. What?
Welcome to 10 minutes of muscle activation. Small, subtle movements boost muscle coordination and the health of your back.
What?
Please pay attention to the traffic. Interrupt the exercise as soon as the traffic situation requires. Carrying out the training exercises lies within your responsibility. Select a straight posture for all exercises that follow.
Wait a second, what?
Start with shoulder movements. Move your right shoulder far back in circles.
Oh my goodness. Another beautiful day out and about in the S-Class. I've grown to really like this thing. Is the powertrain absolutely perfect? I've noticed a couple little hiccups, but I would take this over a just regular S580 with the gas V8 because of the flexibility, especially if I had charging in my garage and I could just drive in pure electric mode. It delivers the S-Class experience very, very well, and the spec on this thing is just absolutely gorgeous. I have loved it this week. It's expensive. All S-Classes are pretty pricey at $144,000 as option, but it is just such a nice daily driver, and I really do like the flexibility of the powertrain options. Hope you guys enjoyed this vlog living with this S580e with me. Would you go for the regular gas-powered one? Would you get this plug-in hybrid, or are you a baller and ponying up for the S63? Although I will say, I think we can all agree we would take this over the EQS because that thing looks, again, like an egg, and it just... This is what I think about when I think S-Class. I don't think about the EQS at all. So this thing, thumbs up. Hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Thanks for watching.